All right then, everyone, we've got the final set of elite specializations to go over today, and goodness me, it looks like ArenaNet may well have saved the best until last. We've got the Evoker for the Elementalist, the Amalgam for the Engineer, and the Conduit for Revenant here as well. So first up is going to be the Evoker here. And look, you know what Ellie mains have always wanted? Two things. One, to have only one element or to focus on one element, and two, to have a pet frog. You can be a toad wizard now. That's right. So the key gimmick is here is that you can basically pick an element to specialize in, and you'll have a little familiar helping you out, kind of empowering you. You can see there, you've got the air bunny, you have the otter for water, the firefox, and the formidable toad from the earth. I mean, look, the earth one better be OP, man. I want to be a toad wizard, okay? Come on, we need some more frog-themed stuff there. But yeah, this one actually looks really, really exciting. Some cool mechanics in there. You basically charge up your kind of pet. It's not like a true pet. It's kind of like a bit like Ritualist, like an untargetable thing that follows you around. But you basically cast spells, you give it a special ability, then the more of its special abilities that you cast, you can then use its ultimate move. Right, so it's actually, I think, pretty cool there. You kind of build up and, your pet is, like, very active. Like, you can make it do things, right? It's going to empower your spells and give you extra effects depending on which one you pick. And kind of, you specialize in an element, which I think is actually really cool. A lot of potential there, a lot of versatility, and I think this is like the elite skill, potentially. You can see that you kind of send them all in at the same time, right? You've got the otter off here, you've got the fox in there, the hair is like zipping around, making a giga water field at the end there, and the frog is just smashing down into the ground. Really exciting. I think the roleplay here is really cool. To be honest, like some pretty sick animations there with that one. But of course, we'll talk about the mechanics later. But look, you thought we were done with one really exciting spec? Well, here comes the Amalgam. And like, this is crazy, guys. The direction they've taken here with the roleplay, I will admit I did not see this coming. I thought it was going to oh, look, you've got the Juggernaut. Wow, how exciting is that? That is not what's going on here, okay? So the lore of this one is that you combine with an ooze. Seriously, we're kind of going Venom here. We're going T-1000. But basically, you bond with an ooze, like a mercurial mold ooze, that allows you to have like, symbiotic powers with it. So you can like liquefy yourself into a puddle to dodge stuff. You can like throw metal slime at people as well. This is crazy. Mechanically, this is pretty exciting too. There's a couple of the abilities being shown off here. But the way this one works is that you basically get extra utility skill slots. Your tool belt is gone, and you get to pick different ooze abilities, and you have an ultimate move that changes based on what ooze abilities you pick. So really cool. Very different take on Engineer, because of course, historically, you're very tied into your utility skills because that leans into your tool belt, right? So that almost was a slight lack of flexibility almost. You end up with like the same abilities popping up a lot of the time. This decouples that. It's actually a really nice design in my opinion because it changes up how NG plays by replacing that tool belt. So actually a big fan of the design. We'll obviously get more into that later, but yeah, looks really cool. You can see all these kind of metal like bolts being thrown around right now. You turn into a slime on the ground, and yeah, some cool visual effects there. If you get the Juggernaut going, that's going to be big. And the final one, this is very mysterious, right? Like we talked about this in all of the previews. The mysterious Conduit for the Revenant. And guess what, guys? You are going to be channeling Raza. And this is just a Guild Wars 1 fiesta. Okay, you get to use monk skills, mesmer skills, dervish skills. Oh yeah, okay, we've got some dervish abilities here as well. So a massive kind of fiesta of nostalgia here for all of the Guild Wars 1 enjoyers. A little bit of dervish flavor coming in. This is kind of the key gimmick here with this one is that this elite spec is a little bit different. A lot of the time when you play a Rev Elite spec, you end up using the corresponding legend, right? And you want to use those abilities. And not always, but a lot of the time, right? The goal of this one is to actually change this one up a little bit. So no matter what legends you use, you're going to have some kind of interactivity there. Like, having this elite spec will allow you to empower and get special effects depending on which legend you pick, and kind of build up a bunch of energy, use like a really special move, and then get a bonus effect depending on what legend you're in then. Yeah, look at that. You guys want to be a dervish? Okay, here you go, boom. Because the idea, right, is that, of course, Raza was a hero in Guild Wars 1 who you could set to any profession you like. You could make them do whatever they want. if you wanted them to, right? So the idea is that you're channeling this legend, who, by the way, is still alive, which is kind of interesting. Like, this is the first character that's still alive that you're actively channeling, which I think has kind of interesting implications for the lore of Rev, but honestly, maybe more on that later. Talk about that in the comments section. We could be here all day talking about that here, but yeah, the idea is that, like, obviously Raza has mastered, okay, a wider range of powers, and that kind of, you know, you gain access to that, right? You get some kind of monk abilities, right? Some like Guild Wars 1 abilities, right? And of course, the dervish skill there as well with that scythe, which I think people are going to be really excited to use. And that's a proper scythe too, by the way. I think that's even a Guild Wars 1 model, if I'm not mistaken, actually, or very similar to one. No, it is a Guild Wars 2 skin. Actually, it's like the Sun Touch scythe, I think is what it's called, but also like very reminiscent of Guild Wars 1 stuff there as well with how that actually looks. So yeah, they went all out on this one. Okay, we got Paragon, we got Dervish, we got you know, Raza coming back. Very exciting stuff. So yeah, we've gone big on that. We have actually gone very, very, very big on these elite specs. ArenaNet has gone Omega with these. Right at the end, look, dude, I don't you just love how in the preview videos they always show the pre-order? This is just fantastic stuff, guys. You know what to do. Okay, it's linked. Use my link, guys. It's in the comment section. It's in the description. It's in Twitch chat. It's everywhere, okay? You know what you need to do. And look, if you're not going to pre-order for Toad Wizard, then honestly, guys, I don't even know what to tell you. Look at this little guy. Okay, you seriously telling me you don't want to be a goddamn Toad Wizard? An Ooze Wizard? Or a Wizard Wizard? I'm very excited to see these. Like, and we're obviously right now, we're going to take a look at these mechanically. We're going to delve into them a little bit because these are also very promising, not in terms of their kind of role play here, the lore, the idea, and some of these visuals. I think they're actually very promising mechanically as well. And, well, let's not waste any more time talking about pre-ordering the game using my referral link. Okay, let's let you go ahead and get down to business. But yeah, definitely check out the stream and, of course, my deep dives that we're going to do when these get revealed, because these are looking very, very exciting. And once again, I actually do want to shout out the artwork. I really like the artwork for all of these. You can see the Evoker here, and you have all of the little elemental familiars you've got going on. You've got the fiery fox, the lightning hare, the stalwart toad, and, of course, the mischievous otter there as well. It's like really, really good. Look, I'll give you a bit of a spoiler here. This is basically Catalyst, but not trash. This is pretty much what Catalyst should have been. And that is, maybe a little bit mechanically as well, but we'll kind of get into that in just a moment. But yeah, just to scroll down here as well, you can see look at that. You got the ooze, you're like firing out like slime bolts. Because of course everyone kind of assumed it was going to be kind of Quicksilver, Juggernaut. It turns out, guys, you just bombed yourself with an ooze, right? That is a very cool looking char engineer as well. With the ooze. The ooze is here, guys. It's time. Okay, dude, oozing with power. I guarantee you Trig made this, by the way. I'm actually calling him out. Trig, this has Trig all over it. Like, this is a Trig elite spec, 1,000,000%. And finally, of course, yeah, you have the Conduit. Very mysterious. Slime time. Kind of wielding this scepter here. I'm not really sure what the icon's getting at. Don't know what's going... Yeah, see, he admits it. He actually admits it in Twitch chat. Look at that, guys. He says he's caught. Okay, Austin is also confirming it with wide stagger, but it is confirmed. B-Trig in the chat. I was going to say, like, fill the entire chat with B-Trig and then something happens, but I don't know what would happen if we do that. Like, Trig just, I don't know, like, adds slime to the game or something. I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, let's actually talk about the mechanics. We're done talking about the artwork. Let's go to it. So, the Evoker. Spiritual summoners. Having toppled the powerful Jotun civilization in the previous Dragon Rise, Jormag was poised to claim the Shiver Peaks and beyond when they awoke once again. However, as the dragon's influence crept south of the mountainous crown, displacing the various Coden sanctuaries, it collided with the stalwart and courageous resolve of the Norn and their ever-watching guides, the spirits of the wild. Despite their resistance, Jormag's campaign left lasting scars on many of the spirits, consuming or corrupting those that held the line. Because bear in mind, guys, like one of our little gimmicks was like we like fed the spirits into Primordus. Whoopsie. In the years since Jormag's defeat, the Norn have made strides to reconnect and commune with the spirits. Many now turn to old practices that harken to a time when the first pacts that entwined both groups in spiritual harmony were spoken. The centuries-old tradition of the Evoker. So yeah, this is like a Norn-themed Elite Spec, really cool. And yeah, like these are, look, guys, these are even better. I feel like we got an upgrade, no? Wolf, wow. Imagine having a spirit of a wolf. Now we have the spirit of a toad. It's a million times better. Frogs are truly unbanned in Guild Wars 2 now, and we love to see that. Drawing upon the forces of the natural world, these Norn elementalists call upon spiritual companions and empower them with elemental energies. At the spirit's behest, the Norn have been encouraged to share this practice beyond their own to help restore and heal Tyria's nature spirits. Another kind of image here, the fox floating there. So, how does this work? Familiar friends. Every evoker starts with a choice. Which element do you want to specialize in? Selecting an elemental skill in the F5 slot will specialize in that element, granting a few bonuses. First, the attunement skill for that element will have a significantly reduced recharge time. In addition, some of the evoker's traits and utility skills will be affected by your chosen element. And most importantly, a familiar of that element will join you on your adventures. Yeah, so this is basically how this works. I think this is a really cool design. So basically, out of combat, I assume you're going to be able to pick which one you like. And then it's going to follow you around, right? You're going to have the fox or the toad or the hare or the otter, right? And then cooldown goes down, so you can use that element more. And let's be honest, I think Ellie mains have wanted this for a while. You can like really focus in on one element in particular, get a lot of value out of it. And also, this is cool design because think about this. One, I think this just makes Ellie easier to play because it's, you can basically rectify where you are in your elements quicker. But more importantly, it means that it gives you the flexibility to swap more often and get back to your primary element. So, for example, let's say you're some kind of burning elementalist, but you need to use healing, right? You want to heal your team. Boom, go water, and if you're spec'd in fire with the fox, you're going to be able to get back to fire quicker, so it's less of a punish, right? This is kind of an issue that many Ellie builds have, is that they almost lack the flexibility to effectively use their utility because you get locked out for too long. This is going to address that a little bit. It's the same on heal Ellie, right? Like, let's say you're on heal Ellie, you're in water, you're healing, you're going crazy. If you leave water, that's actually a relatively big commitment. But if you've got the otter, that's going to reduce that commitment. And I also really like the interplay between the utility skills, right? So if you pick the water, you're going to have like one for each element, right? In the utility skill category. That works perfectly, by the way. 4 elements, 4 utility skills. And then, of course, you have a heal skill, which will probably get a bonus effect depending on which one you have, and an elite skill that will probably let you use all of them, like especially looking at the trailer in some way. So I actually really like that design. Sounds really promising. And again, I do like that customizable element, right? This feels like a build that can work well with multiple roles, multiple game modes, multiple scenarios, right? Like power, Conduit, healing even, probably. Really cool. Really exciting, I think. I like that design quite a bit. So the fire specialist will be accompanied by the cunning fox, water by the mischievous otter, air by the agile hare, while earth, look, come on, guys, look. If earth isn't OP, it's GG. Earth gets the stalwart toad. But there's more. The familiar has 2 different skills that are available in the F5 slot once they're fully charged. A basic skill and an empowered skill. The basic skill is charged as the evoker uses their own weapon skills, requiring a total of 6 to fully charge. Weapon skills that match the familiar's element will count for double, meaning that only 3 fire attunement skills will be required to fully charge the fox's skill. The familiar's empowered skill will unlock after using its basic skill 3 times, and that's when the evoker and their familiar unleash their full potential. So we've got this builder-spender kind of dynamic again, which you guys know I'm a big fan of. You charge up your familiar, you get an F5 skill, use it 3 times, you get a mega one. So you have this kind of cycle going on there. And I like that. It's something to think about, something to plan around, right? It's something to keep on top of, right? You've got to find a good opportunity to use it so you can charge up your ultimate mega ability. So you've got like 3 little things, then 1 really powerful one, then the cycle is going to restart from there. Really cool. And of course, that's just giving you more buttons. There's going to be traits that will interact with this, I'm sure. It rewards you for being in the attunement you specialize in, so you can charge it up a little bit quicker, right? Water, so you can like heal more, fire, so you can do more burning, whatever, all that kind of good stuff. The Evoker is a flexible specialization capable of filling a number of roles depending on which element you specialize in. Those leaning towards fire may choose to focus on condition damage, as the Fox will complement those builds well. So it kind of, but yeah, you can see where this is going, right? There's gonna be a lot of burning, there'll be a lot of power damage on air, I imagine. Like earth and water probably a bit more hybrid-y, a little bit more supporty, right? Utility-oriented, all the kind of good stuff that you would kind of expect. And they, of course, Ellie, as always, we don't get the full details here. They only go over 1 of the skill. But guys, welcome welcome to Fire Mage from World of Warcraft into Guild Wars 2. The Fox's basic skill is called Ignite. When activated, the Fox will launch a fiery missile at your target, dealing some damage and inflicting burning. An enemy struck by this skill in quick succession will receive additional stacks of burning. It's funny, it's actually very, very similar to how Fire Mage works mechanically, by the way, in WoW. So that's cool, because I really like that build from WoW, actually. After using Ignite 3 times, and hopefully inflicting a good chunk of burning, Evokers will gain access to the Fox's empowered skill, Conflagration. Using this skill will summon the Fox near your target, after which it will perform a leaping strike that inflicts burning and also spreads burning to nearby enemies, up to a limit. We thought that spreading 1,500 burning stacks might be a bit too powerful. Yeah, it's actually so funny, because this is very much like how Fire Mage works. Like, you basically blast a single target and then spread your burning around. So it's really cool. It's a cool mechanic. You love to see that. You really, really do. That's cool too. Kind of like a special epidemic. That's only going to copy burning. And because it's only burning, that actually does kind of give it a little bit of potential to have quite a high power level. Like a really big AoE power move there. To spread damage. Honestly, potentially very scary in competitive modes too, by the way, because like burning is a condi that when you copy it to other targets is spooky. Like imagine getting like a massive, or even like on downstate, because bear in mind this would work on downstate. So let's say you've got someone in downstate, right? And you pop this, you could like copy 15 burns AoE in PvP. Like obviously it depends on like, you know, what the cycle looks like, but that's brutal, man. And yeah, oh dude, what's cool is that yeah, you could use Inferno to make all the burning scale with your power damage. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with this build. Like Elementalist trait design is really going to complement this pretty well, I think. And of course, that's just the Fox. We haven't even seen what the other the other ones do. Obviously, the water one's probably a bit healing focused. The air one probably power damage focused with some vulnerability and stuff. And Earth maybe immobilize. Well, I think we can actually see the Frog's power move here in the trailer. So let's actually go have a look at that. You can see that the Frog like smashes down, like summoning rocks. Yeah, it looks like, so I think the way this is going to go is that when you use it, when you use its basic move, it might do something around you, and when you use its giga move, it might use it around the target, or something like that. It might not always be the case, but you can see here that the Frog is like smashing down around the Elementalist, and it's talking about how like, you know, when you use the Fox normally, it just fires projectiles at the target. But when you use its giga move, it like leaps over and smashes people and sets them on fire, and then like spreads the burning around, so that's pretty cool. So that's, I imagine how that might be a bit of a pattern there, but yeah, very promising. That is some cool stuff. We love to see that on the Evoker. And hey, maybe they should let it do 1,500 burning stacks. Yeah, it's very cool. And I imagine this is going to be one that is going to give a boon, quickness or alacrity. What would they give it? Honestly, Tempest is in a pretty good spot now, I feel like, with the aura change, so maybe quickness. I think defaulting to quickness is the way to go, in my opinion, because it's kind of like a more fun boon to be able to give. So yeah, a lot of potential. Gonna add a lot of new builds, I think. Very exciting, very hype indeed. We absolutely love to see the Evoker, so stay tuned for more. But, look, we're going from one to the next one, guys. Welcome to the Amalgam oozing with power. Azuran scientists have studied, manipulated, transformed, and occasionally displaced oozes at every level of scientific research. Straight from the mind of Trig, endlessly adaptable, oozes can absorb the properties of substances and living creatures they come into contact with. And a recent breakthrough has allowed them to be used as a powerful tool for both offense and defense. The Mercurial Mold is a special species of ooze that can form a symbiotic bond with its owner and interpret their needs in battle. So yeah, you are actually joining with an ooze. You combine with an ooze. You know what they say, guys? You ooze, you lose, but not this time. It's okay. If you don't ooze, you lose. Requires no special feeding, and best of all, no fatalities have been reported as a result of the bonding process. Why not give it a try? So yeah, cool roleplay there, right? Like, you know, you've developed this kind of symbiotic ooze that you can just like attach to yourself, and it bonds with you. Okay, there you go. You can see some of the kind of Quicksilver style abilities, or you can see like the Elite Spec icon here, right? Oh, finally, guys, an Elite Spec icon that actually makes some sense. Although I guess the Evoker one makes sense too, to be fair. Also, hold on. Wait. Isn't this a massive missed opportunity? Do you guys realize that the Evoker Elite Spec could have been a toad? And we go with the fox. Really, ain't it? We could have had a toad. GG. Anyway, let's get down to business with this one. So what are we doing here? Bonded with their slime time. Bonded with their mercurial mode, amalgams are engineers with unparalleled adaptive capabilities. By being able to freely customize which morph skills they select, you can arrive to any fight with the right tools to survive and dish out damage. Amalgams can temporarily meld with their slime, resulting in an altered or even mutated form. An amalgam's experimentation results in a malleable fighter that can always find the edge in combat. So what does that actually mean? So we've got no tool belt, but we've got morph abilities. There are several morph abilities, and that's going to be all sorts of different things, right? And you can select which ones to fight with in the same manner you select your utilities. So again, there's probably going to be a good chunk of them to pick from, like probably at least 5 if I had to guess. Maybe even significantly more than that, right? Because again, if you think about Thief actually got a lot of skills, right? Because you got all the different artifacts that you can use. I imagine you're probably looking at a similar quantity to that, I want to say. So you'll be able to like properly mix and match some stuff here. The morph skills command the mercurial mold to shapeshift into different forms, such as a shield, defensive spikes, or even a massive sword. This is actually very powerful, because this means that you essentially get another 4 utility skills, maybe? Because you're going to have F1, F2, F3, F4, and then the F5 is something we're going to talk about a little bit later. So you have a lot of utility and flexibility in your build. It also removes a limitation of NG, because NG's tool belt, you know, sometimes you'd like, oh man, I really kind of need that tool belt skill, so I kind of need to take the utility, and almost vice versa as well. It's like, oh man, I really need this utility skill, so you're kind of forced to take the tool belt skill. That's now decoupled. I actually love that design, because this is the kind of thing that I find really exciting with Elite Specs, is that we're not just adding another button on top of it. We're actually changing the game. Like, this is a very different version of Engineer that we're getting here. Like, Engineer has always had this connection between the F skills and the utility skills. That limitation is now gone. It's kind of funny, actually, because Medkit is no longer going to have that big heal. I imagine you'll be able to pick probably some, like, defensive options, though, so that's just kind of a funny meme there. But yeah, I love this design. I really like this design, actually, because it's exactly what an Elite Spec should be. Especially because I do really like the idea of it as well. This sounds really fun. But, I mean, look at this. Become one with the mold. Like, do people just... Look... This is extra funny to me because I have a guild called Fungus, a Fungus Among Us, and in fact, it's kind of been a feature of a lot of my guilds recently, is doing a Fungus Among Us in the HT adventure, that is, as kind of part of the trial, part of the meme, part of the roleplay. And there's a rank in the guild, like the lowest of the low rank is mold. So you can be a fungus, you can be like a shroom, which is obviously very high tier, right? Like being like one of the mushroom people in HOT, that is... You want to be that. That's where you want to be, right? Being a mold, though, is just GG. Like, it is the punishment. And now, love to see this, guys. An actual reference to us in the game. Shout out to Trig for sliding that in there. Like, the only way Trig could have done this better is if he somehow referenced Magrest in here. And it was like, oh yeah, like... The elite skill, codename Magrest. Or it could be like somehow related to magnetism, right? Like maybe somewhere, because you know you've got the mag in there, so you've got the magnetism there combining with the metal. I don't know. We could have made that work somehow. I'm not entirely sure, but it really is what it is. Anyway, your elite tool belt skill is replaced by Evolve. Evolve briefly combines the Engineer and the Mercurial Mold into one being, granting a host of benefits. These benefits, however, are unique to each slime. As you select your morph skills, your Mercurial Mold's composition is altered to also change what happens when you evolve. Love that. The compositional shifts called strains can vary from granting super speed and quickness to stunning nearby enemies when you evolve. So again, you're going to have this extra layer. Like you know, wow, that's so cool, right? Because you're going to have all these abilities and there's going to be loads of versions of this skill that are going to combine together, right? It's probably going to be that each one like has an effect that it adds to your evolve, I would imagine. It will be crazy if each permutation had its own evolve. It kind of will, but you know what I mean, right? If it was like literally a unique one for every possible composition, but that would actually be a lot of skills, to be honest, so probably not that. But yeah, it's gonna like combine them all together. That's really cool. So you get like a Giga tool belt skill there as well with the F5. I really like this. This is very cool. Very exciting, I think. Really fun. Looks really cool. And well designed as well, or at least it seems that way. Okay, fingers crossed. We'll see on Friday, right? And your Amalgam's utility skills are stances. The mercurial mold can assist you to shift your form, making you as dense as steel, as light as a feather. So, you know, it's going to make you go faster or leap around. Dense as steel, like some kind of defense, like a shield ability or something. With the skill liquid state, you can melt down into a puddle, going to be an evade. Like, you like sink down into the floor and like float around, probably do damage to people who are standing on you and stuff like that. Yeah, this is awesome. I love this. This is really fun. This is cool. This is high tier. Wow. Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with the Amalgam. It was definitely one of the ones that's kind of weird. Like, what the hell is going to go on here? What is this going to look like? But yeah, Trig cooked. What can I tell you? I am really interested to see what they've actually cooked up here. It's going to be a big stream on Friday, guys. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be big. But we're not done. Did you guys think? Do you guys seriously think this is the end? Do we seriously think that? No. Raza is back. Well, apparently he was never gone. Or they were never gone, rather. Raza is in the mix. Some pretty juiced out arms, no, as well. Let's see what we got. The Conduit. Channeling the past. Centuries ago, the hero who defeated the fallen god Abaddon, that sounds familiar, met a strange entity, imprisoned deep within the realm of torment. Raza, a being born of the mists, freed by Abaddon's death to seek their own purpose in life, Raza chose to accompany the hero across Tyria, and their boundless curiosity led them to study and master any number of martial and magical disciplines. Again, you could set Raza's profession to anything you wanted. It was it's a special hero in Guild Wars 1. So cool to kind of bring that in and link this in. This is going to be a Revenant legend that can channel all sorts of different magical powers. But Raza's story seemed to have ended with their companions. No one had seen or heard from them since. They may have returned to the mist to wander or fall into the corruption they once feared. They might have learned to mimic human behavior precisely enough to live hundreds of lives in obscurity, or they could have been watching our world, still learning and waiting for someone like you. Yeah, it's us. Here we go. Lock in. Harness the mists. After the complexity of having two different legends in the form of Saint Victor and Arkamora in Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragons, we wanted to focus on a single legend that offered an equally unique experience. And as a denizen born of the mists, Raza is the first living legend to assist the Revenant in their adventures. With the Conduit, we wanted to portray the multifaceted nature of Raza's unique link to the mists. Thus, the elite specialization was designed to have the malleability, listen, maybe you can be an ooze wizard too, and the flexibility that reflects Raza's ability to transform into any profession. By amplifying the Revenant's connection to the mists, the Conduit can tap into a deeper well of power through the legends they choose to channel, further augmenting their existing strengths. And yeah, this is kind of the key idea here, is that even if you don't pick, and this is again because we want this to be really impactful, we want these elite specs to hit and really connect and give you a new thing to play around and to really impact your build no matter what you do with it. No matter what legend you use, if you use the Raza legend or not, you're gonna have this extra component that allows you to empower what your legends do, no matter what. Kind of see this is obviously with that Raza legend, I think, or potentially just the extra ability that we're gonna learn about here. So, legendary affinity, what does this actually mean? What does all that mean, guys? We had a bunch of words there, but how does that actually affect the game? As the Conduit, you gain the ability to use cosmic wisdom, allowing you to further channel the powers of your equipped legend. Oh, is it YouTube reading time? Oh, man. Roy's in the chat, and I really hope Roy's not on the stream. I really do. Like, you know, he always fights with the devs. Like, he's, you know, they argue each other, right? They're always shitting on each other. They're just going berserk. Man, like, the guy just, I don't know what to tell you. He's just a problem, you know? Like, the guy... No, of course I'm joking, okay? If Roy's not on this stream, the stream's shit. Okay, anyway. Slight derail there. How you doing, Roy? Oh, man, very cool. Dude, they should have made the legend Roy. Actually, why didn't they do that? It is YouTube reading. It is YouTube reading time, but why is the legend not Roy? Because, yeah, we're allowed to channel living people. Why not break the fourth wall and just channel Roy? It'll be better. Anyway, mechanics. What is happening here? What is going on? Allowing you to further channel the powers of your equipped legend with Cosmic Wisdom. As an example, using Cosmic Wisdom with Legendary Assassin stance equipped gives access to Form of the Assassin, granting the Conduit bonus power and movement speed. So it's going to be themed around the different ones, of course, as well as inflicting debilitating conditions on foes you strike. Cosmic Wisdom only lasts for a limited amount of time, but it can be extended through the use of Affinity. So we've also got this Affinity mechanic, which is a new resource. Affinity is a new resource that represents the strength of your connection to your legend. Affinity can be gained through using any legendary skills that cost energy. So you want to use your utility skills to charge this resource, right? This is how you build that up, and you can go in a legend, spend energy on your utility skills, and then you can then do a special effect based on what legend you're in. Each point of affinity you gain increases the duration of Cosmic Wisdom by a set amount. However, you lose all affinities to swap legends, so you're really encouraged to rotate through your abilities, use the Cosmic Wisdom, get the bonus, and then swap over. Thanks to the power of Raza, conduits gain access to Legendary Entity stance, bringing them with various skills that harken back to when they wandered Tyria as a hero. Each skill in Legendary Entity stance has an effect called Resonance, a bonus effect that comes into play if the corresponding legend is equipped in the other slot. For example, Beguiling Haze normally shadow steps to your target while performing a quick attack on them. However, if you've got Shiro, Assassin Stance, then it becomes an air effect targeted skill, allowing conduits to shadow step even without a target and strikes all enemies in the vicinity. That's really cool. This is a little bit like Troubadour, right? With the instruments playing and you get a bonus effect. This is kind of more at the build level. You pick your utility skills, or rather you pick your other legend, and then one of your abilities, or maybe it probably interacts with the elite too. The elite probably has a special effect depending on what your other legend is. That would be really cool. Maybe the heal skill too. But yeah, all of these utility skills are going to have a bonus effect sometimes, depending on what legend you have. I think that's really, really exciting design, actually. It's, again, kind of enhancing your build. You have this synergy between the two there. Really, really cool idea. I like that a lot. And again, it's just giving the spec some depth, right? You've got some proper meat to chew on here. Like, oh, I want to empower this ability. And the changes are going to be significant, right, here too. This is a big deal. Like, going from a targeted shadow step to a non-targeted shadow step, that's a pretty big mechanical difference, right, with how you could use that skill, especially in competitive modes. So this is not just going to be like, oh, it does more damage. It's going to be significantly, game changing, like build changing, and playstyle changing, depending on which other one you have. And you again, that's going to be further enhanced by the fact that we have this F2 ability, the Cosmic Wisdom, that is going to give you this special effect once you charge up and you rotate through enough of your utility skills. Yeah. Very, very cool. I like that a lot. I will say, I do feel the most in the dark about this one, out of all three. The NG one just looks amazing. The way this is described is incredible. I love this. Evoker, I definitely want to see all of it. Obviously, the traits are so important here. They need to nail this. Right, we've seen some of the traits haven't been super amazing, like Luminary and Paragon. not the best, needs some work there. They need to nail these traits on Evoker to really enable what they want to do here. They have to be impactful. They've got to really empower you to make decisions and customize your build and really work with the base mechanic that exists here. I kind of feel similarly with the Rev too. Like I'm still, it's very mysterious exactly what this is going to look like as well. I do want to do a little bit of a call out here as well. Here, I kind of want to play this. I don't normally play the audio on this because what do you guys think this is? React content, okay? We don't do that here. Well, you know, technically this is React content. We're hard reacting. But let me actually quickly play this because they actually talk about almost like, and this is cool throwback to Guild Wars 1, right? There's some association between the Raza abilities and how it empowers the legends and Guild Wars 1 classes. Let's check this out.
Gain their powers, but only for a limited time.
Ooh.
Learn their ability.
Also, look, isn't this a weird turn of phrase? Gain their power, but only for a limited time. Why would you say that? You gotta hype me up.
Time. Learn their abilities to better understand the best path to victory.
Ooh.
Through your connection to the assassin, warrior.
Notice they say assassin. They're actually talking about Guild Wars 1 specs here, basically, right? So when they say assassin, we're talking Guild Wars 1 assassin. So that's what the theme's going to be, right? Warrior. Mesmer. So Malix is going to have a bit of Guild Wars 1 Mesmer flavor. Really cool. Monk. So yeah, you're going to have some monk power. On Ventari, right?
And Dervish.
And Dervish as well. And yeah, Dervish looks like that's going to be the Raza one, right? Like you can see here that the Raza character is kind of like summoning this Uber Scythe.
That have not been seen since the legends themselves. Through your connection to
Hell
Raza,
yeah.
find strength,
Boom.
courage, and purpose as the Conduit.
The Conduit. So yeah, you can see here that I think we're really going for big Guild Wars 1 references, right? We're bringing back a Dervish skill, some kind of Guild Wars 1 mesmery stuff, warrior stuff, monkey stuff, right? All that kind of direction.
And Dervish.
So really, really cool. Yeah, dude, look. Yeah. All the thieves who wanted assassin, guys, we put it on Rev. I don't know what to tell you. Enjoy your scrit. Revs get assassin. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I like this a lot. And I guess you can see here that it looks like you get this kind of little thing following you around. And it changes color based on what element you're in, right? Or rather what legend you got. So you can see here that the kind of the decoration that the Revenant has, it kind of glows purple when you have when you're in Malix, I assume. Wait, where is that? Am I just blind? What happened to it? Bring it back. Boom! That's kind of cool. Look at a shadow step ability as well. Pretty neat. Ooh. Yeah, you can see, like, you're in Malix, so you have, like, the little purple things floating around there. But, yep. And that's it. Leak! I'm spoiling you guys with my future content already, and then, we can't allow that. But anyway, that's basically the overview of these specializations, and oh my goodness, this is going to be a big one. Of course, we have the beta on August 20th, and I'll be playing that as much as I possibly can. But this Friday, log in. Twitch channel. This Friday, I will be watching it, obviously. We will be uploading my deep dives. We will be looking at the traits. We'll be looking at the abilities. And goodness me, it's going to be a big one. I am really hoping. Look, real talk. I love these streams. I always love to see CMC and Trig on stream. They are super entertaining guys, super knowledgeable, very passionate. We love to see that. I am hoping to see a Roy appearance, guys. He is my king. Every stream that has Roy on it is infinitely better. Let's be honest. Okay, can you believe that he's been actually slacking off, vacationing in Europe, of all places, guys? That's just unbelievable, is it not? But hopefully he makes an appearance. If only because I want to see the, people not getting the joke. I love it when people don't get Roy's humor. But anyway, I'm excited to see that. Roy is my king, obviously, and you guys are definitely going to tune in for that. But look, maybe I'm delusional. You got to bear in mind, guys, I thought Antiquary looks really cool, so maybe you guys think I'm an idiot and these elite specs suck. I think ArenaNet absolutely cooked on all three of these. I think this is the best overall set combined. I really hope to see that continue in the mechanical overview, particularly those traits, right? Like, I think they've really set the bar high with some of their recent trait design in the elite specializations. So I want to see that continued, actually, into all three of these, because it's important to really have that build customization to really bring these specs to life, is having that rock solid trait and utility skill support core. But anyway, I will see you guys then. Let me know what you think in the comments. Which one of these is the most exciting? Maybe you don't care. Do you have a favorite? Now that we've seen all of them, we've seen all the reveals, I will be doing a tier list of which ones I think are the most interesting fully after, because of course I can't really do it now. We haven't seen the deep dives, but I'll be doing that probably over the weekend at some point, so stay tuned there. And of course, that's going to be fun, okay? It's going to be fun to discuss that. I know you guys are going to have some hot takes on that. But anyway, leave your comments, like the video, subscribe on YouTube, get ready for infinite slop content. I'm going to be covering the beta, obviously. I'm going to be covering the deep dives, anything that comes out about Visions of Eternity. We're going to be locked into it. It's going to be good. But yep, that's it. Comment, like, subscribe, watch the stream now in 1440p. Oh yeah! And of course, buy the game using my referral link, guys, okay? Like, I don't know what to tell you. If the stalwart Toad hasn't convinced you that Visions of Eternity is going to be good, then I think there's no hope for you. Like, just uninstall, no? Like, there's no saving you at that point. So you might as well make it happen. Do it. Links everywhere. In the comments, in the description, blast it on my social media. You guys know what to do. But that's it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little overview. Stay tuned for the deep dives. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.